So tomorrow we, of course, have the Patriots versus the Packers preseason game. And so I also want to discuss the biggest things I'm going to be watching for, and I'll go through it real quick. But feel free to comment what you are looking for tomorrow night in this game. But I have 6 different things. Number 1, Jordan Love and the Packers receivers. So the last time they were on the field, practice Thursday, they got pretty much shut down by the Patriots defense. It was reported that the Patriots were way more physical than the Packers. And so I want to see how Jordan Love in this offense responds. We saw Jordan Love in week 1. I think he looks real good. Sure, there were a couple of mistakes, but still this guy started one NFL game. We got to give him time. And so I'm excited to see, can we see him take some more steps forward? Can we see him continue to build a chemistry with Christian Watson, with Romeo Doubs, with Luke Musgrave? Because Brian Gutekunst mentioned it, if you were watching the beginning of this stream, about how these guys need to get more and more time together because they're so young. And so we'll see tomorrow night what this Packers offense can be. The next thing I'm looking for is, can the Packers match the Patriots' physicality? Because as I just said, it was reported that the Patriots were really bringing it to the Packers, much more physical, much more intense. And I think that's something the Packers need, the Packers defense too, especially when it comes to defenses. You need that physicality. You need that, that intensity to bring it there to other teams. And Bill Belichick always brings his guys out ready to go. They seem like they're always attacking, always playing aggressive and physical. And so I want to see, on Thursday, the Packers did not match the Packers' physicality, per reports. And so can they do it tomorrow night, even if, it's not the starters out there the whole game? Can every guy who comes out there come out there and bring it, because there's going to be tons of guys obviously fighting for their positions and positions on the 53-man roster, because there's still tons of battles going down right now. That's number 2. Number 3, can a safety rise to the top? Can a safety, set themselves apart from the rest? Because I already mentioned earlier in the stream, Darnell Savage sounds like he is a lock, even though he's been shaky the past couple seasons. But Joe Barry sounds convinced that Savage is going to be, one of the guys out there at safety. So the question is, can one of these other safeties push himself ahead of the other guys? Because right now, from practice snaps, it looks like Tyrarius Moore and Jonathan Owens look to be competing for that number 2 spot. 2 guys the Packers brought in this offseason for about $1 million, pretty cheap. And also, too, we have Anthony Johnson Jr. out there. We have Rudy Ford as well. Can one of those guys show up in tomorrow's preseason game and try to vie for that second spot next to Savage? The next one, we got Sean Clifford, who I'm very excited to see Sean Clifford once again, because he was just fun to watch. When you have a guy playing like that, just sort of careless in the sense of he does not look uncomfortable, does not look afraid, does not look like a rookie out there. I want to see, can he play fearless like that without making those few poor decisions? Because obviously you guys who watched that game, he was out there slinging it, and he had two mistakes, one in a pick six by the other team, the other one intercepted. And so I want to see, can he do that? Next, we have Lucas Van Ness. So I want to see, can he just make like one big wow play in tomorrow night's preseason game? Because I think in the first one, he was out there a good amount in the first half, and there wasn't really a play where I was super impressed with. There were a couple where you can see his physicality right off the line, where he just immediately, gives the offensive lineman problems. But there was maybe only one play where he really disrupted the pass that I noticed. And so I want to see if he can keep taking those steps forward, because he is a young player here, a young rookie, and he didn't have a ton of experience in college. And so I do expect, he's going to develop over the next couple seasons. But can he come in here and make a wow play? The final thing I'm looking for is, can Anders Carlson make his kicks? Pretty simple one there, but we discussed it earlier. But can he come in here and sort of shake off the inconsistency he has had? And he mentioned earlier in the week from a report, I believe it was an article by Ryan Wood, I think it was at PackersNews.com, where Carlson said that he thinks it's his tempo, that he's like rushing kicks, and maybe that's mental. Maybe because he's been missing these kicks, he's sort of in his head, which I think probably is a problem for kickers when they get in some kind of slump. It's hard to get out of that. And so we'll see on tomorrow night if he can come in there and if he can do that. So those are the 6 things I'm going to be watching tomorrow